Hey everybody, how's it going? Now, let's continue the conversation from one of my previous videos. Now, in one of my previous videos, one viewer, I'm not sure if he's a subscriber or not, but if you have subscribed, that's good. But he came and he told me that my audio isn't that good, and I completely agree. My audio sucks. Uh, for some reason, there was a lot of echo, and I didn't know. I'm a new YouTuber. I didn't know how to set up audio that well. So what I did was I'm now using a wired connection, and I'm hoping my audio is much better. So let me know what you think. I'm hoping my audio is much better than what it used to be. What he also told me was not look at the screen, the flip screen over there. He told me to look at the camera, and I'm trying to do that. And you know what? I've spent many years in sales, and this is part of the behavior. You look at the eye, you look at the camera while you're talking to somebody online. But for some reason, while making YouTube videos, I had a tendency of going and taking a look at myself and my image. But you know what? My image doesn't change. My communication changes if I move my eyes in a different direction, which I'm not going to do. So thank you very much for letting me know. I hope my um, I hope I'm looking directly at the camera, which I'm doing right now, and my voice is getting captured properly. So let me know what you think. Okay. Coming back to the conversation today, um, I wanted to highlight one topic, and that topic is about a lens that has been raved a lot by Nikon and by many users that are buying the ZFs, Nikon ZF, right? Now I have the 28 on this CF, and like I said, this has quickly become one of my favorite cameras that I've ever used. My favorite camera so far used to be the A7 III, followed by the A7C, Sony A7C, and Sony A7 III. And very quickly, I think I'm ready to transition completely over to the Nikon ZF or ZF. Video functions, photography functions are just top notch, and the files that come out of the Nikon are very easy to process. Autofocus is perfect. There are no complaints on the autofocus. So if anybody tells you about autofocus not working, don't listen. But beyond that point, one important topic was the Nikon 40mm f2, the lens that is getting a lot of raves, and it's a good lens. I had that in 2022 when I had my Z6 II, and I used it on my ZFC, which is recording me right now, and my Z6 II. Now, here is the point. The 40mm f2 is a very good lens. I don't deny that. All Nikon lenses are good, especially the Z ones. But is it the best 40mm that I've used? No. The best 40mm and the biggest bang for the buck that I got was from this Voigtlander lens. This is a Voigtlander M mount lens. Just making sure it's on. It's in focus. That's the profile that you get, and this is the lens that motivated me back into manual photography. I left autofocus behind and I started using it manual till I got the Techart adapter, which kind of gave me the flexibility to go manual as well as automatic using this lens. But this is a 40mm f1.4 Nocton classic lens. It's multi-coated, and it goes down to f1.4. My favorite aperture on this, the ones that have gotten awards for me, have been 5.6 and f4, but I still use this lens at f1.4. Just to let you know that this lens was the highest seller. I think it is still the highest seller from the Voigtlander lineup, and that speaks to why I keep raving about this lens and not the Nikon 40mm. So whoever wants to go buy the Nikon 40mm, it's less expensive, it's a good imaging, it's lighter, I agree with all those things, but this isn't that heavy. You can use a manual adapter, or I would prefer you go with a Techart adapter and start using this lens. The images coming out of this lens, especially the black and white images. Sorry, I spoke up a little bit, especially because I kind of got excited. But especially the black and white images coming out of this lens is mind blowing. The color contrast, I mean, even black and white photos have two colors, right? And there's a contrast to it. The imaging, the the bokeh that you get out of this lens is stunning. Um, I don't think you get that kind of bokeh out of Nikon. The color contrast from a Nikon lens is good, but doesn't match that of a Voigtlander. There is some image difference in a Voigtlander lens that you don't get in a Nikon. Even if you're using an older Nikon, you don't get that in a Nikon. Uh, I think that's the reason why it happens is because Voigtlander competes. Cosina makes these lenses these days, but they compete with Zeiss and they compete um, with the actual Leica lenses. And the Leica lenses, the look is just out of the world. I like that look. Uh, but I can't afford those expensive lenses. So I go with the Voigtlander, and I behoove you to go ahead and use this lens. Manual, you would love it. The focus throw is not that big. You have the aperture dial that clicks and it moves buttery smooth. I mean, this is a very functional, one of my favorite lenses that I had, that I have used on my Z6, my Z6 II, and now on my ZFC. Night photography has been stunning with this lens. I, I can't say a lot of good points. I'd like you to take this and experience it. So I know you're getting excited about the 40mm from Nikon. It's a good lens. F2, nothing wrong with that. It's a good lens. This is f1.4, but the imaging that comes out of this lens is far superior than the Nikon. You're gonna love that. Now there are two other lenses, manual lenses, that I'll be using on my ZF. Uh, I am really excited to use this 50mm f1.8. Not sure if I told you about this lens, guys, but this is a 50mm f1.8, and I learned photography on this lens. This was a $35, 38 or $38 including taxes. That's how expensive this lens was. The images coming out of it is stunning. I learned manual photography on my D750 using this lens. This is my 50mm that produced many good pictures. $38 lens has made me more than $3,500 based on the gigs that I did back in 2017, 2018. Uh, the other lens that I want to talk to you about is my favorite lens. I'll post a video about this lens, and I ask everybody to go ahead and use this lens. I kind of hesitate showing you right now. I thought I might just go ahead and make a video to show this to you, but I'll do that right now. This is the Nikon 105mm f2.5. This is a lens from the late 1960s. It is not the one that has the lens hood connected to it, the expandable lens hood. This is the version previous to it. I'm not sure why the version with the lens hood sells more. I guess it's because the angry photographer spoke good about that lens, and I follow that angry photographer. I like him for the knowledge that he has about the lenses that Nikon used to produce. But this is the lens that Steve McFurry used. I'm sorry, I said Curry. Something's in my mind. Sorry. Steve McFurry used to take the image of that Afghan girl. This is my favorite lens. I am not sure why anybody would go and buy a new Nikon 105mm, which is a bulky lens. If you're doing that for coatings, it makes sense. But if you're doing that for autofocus, it doesn't make sense to me, because the Techart adapter already allows you to autofocus this fantastic lens. That other lens, the 105 mm lens that Nikon has, that I think they made it in 2008, if I'm not wrong, has superior autofocus, has superior sharpness, but the sharpness coming out of this lens is not inferior. I guess Nikon never changed the formula of the 105 mm. It first came out, I believe, back in 1938, and Nikon never changed the formula till 1971. Even in 1971, they produced AIS lenses. This is an AI version of it. AIS lenses, but the formula wasn't changed. Uh, I believe the only formula that they changed was for the 28 mm AI to AIS. Every other manual lens that Nikon had, the formula did not change. Coatings did change. This coating and the other coating might be slightly different, and they kept on changing throughout the years. But they changed their formula in 2006, I believe, with the newer lens. Back to the point. Why is this my favorite lens? I'll be telling this to you in a different video. But guys, this is a lens that should be in your arsenal. Amazing, the best lens that I've used. And I'm going to link the Angry Photographer's video as well, because I took his name. But I like that guy. He's good. I mean, he's knowledgeable in the areas that he talks about. But again, we spoke about 3 different lenses. The first one is the 40 mm. Instead of the Nikon 40 mm f2, try this one. You are not going to regret it. It might be a couple of $100 expensive, but that's the lens that you should go for. The 50 mm, this is the 50 mm f1.8, a pancake lens. Again, this is the AIS version of it. No, this is the AI version of it. I learned photography on my 50 mm. This is the one. And my third and my favorite lens, this is the lens that I would use for portraits, is the 105 mm f2.5 lens. This is the AI version built in the late 1960s. Other than that, nothing more to say. Hope you guys enjoy. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.